to you from underneath a peach blossom. It's time for an episode of Be Awesome. Find positivity throughout your life and work, just like our mascot rooster, Steve the Jerk.
Hello, Be Awesome listeners. It's another exciting episode from the ECAT studios, and I've got yet another great episode for you. I'm excited. It happens to be Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody, even though you're probably going to hear this after Valentine's Day. Before I get to my guest, probably going to say it a couple times. A pre-order of the book is open. That's why Mark isn't here today. He is actually at the office. The editors brought back all of the corrections that should be suggested to be made, and he is inundated with making sure that this book comes out as awesome as humanly possible for us. And so you can go to beawesome.com and you can pre-order the book. I believe it's $16.95 and $3 shipping and handling. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff on the week of the release. We're going to be making surprise visits and all sorts of stuff, but that's not why we're here today. When COVID had hit, I had given an open invitation to anyone in Easton, any business in Easton that wanted to come on the podcast, that they could come on, no cost, no charge, no anything, completely free, although we got presents today, which is really cool, and share their story. And this isn't meant to be a business story. In most cases, it hasn't been that. It's been a life story. People have shared why they're doing it and how they're doing it. And they just have some really incredible stories to share. And also, in part of the book with Grace, with action, they took action to go out and do something on their own. And we've got Kelly Powers in the studio. She's our first podcast. I've already warned her about how we handle first time guests. But Kelly, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. And so you started Kelly Marie Essentials.
Correct.
Named after you.
Yes. And
tell us a little bit about that, and then I'm going to get into some questions because I'm a big fan of what you're doing. So no shameless plug here, but you've done some incredible stuff. So give us the backstory and where it is.
Well, we're located on Eastman Street in Easton, but it started with just actually food. We have a garden at home, trying to remove some of the chemicals and things that are in our products. So we did a garden, did canning. Then we moved on to soaps and other products. So now we've made our soaps for our family and our friends, and it just grew to a point now that it's become a business.
Wow. And there's a huge process behind this, but how do you go from going to the supermarket, buying a bar of soap, to going, and I think I can make the soap?
Well, that was a lot of John's inspiration.
Yeah.
He did a lot of research on it, and it was something he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And as we just talked about it and hadn't even begun the process, a friend of mine, Pam, who I've known for years, she had made soap. So I said, come on over and show me how to do this. So she did, and I just fell in love with making it. So I just, every morning, I would get up at 5 a.m. and just make it. And then it became for our family, friends, people asking for different scents. And so I asked John, I said, can I have a space up at Eastern Concrete, which is his business? On the first floor, there was some vacant space just for me to go and work there.
Yeah.
Not as a business, just doing it for hobby. And it has completely taken on a whole
nother meaning to itself.
Yep.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I've known John and Kelly for many, many years, and one thing that is always intrigued me is John's research. Whether it's seeing how big of a baseball bat could be made, or soaps or what have you. It's like you give him an idea, and all of a sudden he's doing massive amounts of homework.
Yes, stays up all night.
Yeah, I could just imagine that. Like, look at all these soaps we can make.
Yeah.
So how long does it take? Because soap's got a cure, right? Bars of soap and other things.
Once it's made, it takes 30 days after you cut it for it to cure.
Wow. So you literally have to watch the product for 30 days, just watch it sit there and molt, continue to harden and do whatever it does before you can even sell it. So that, and we can get into, you know, how it's selling and everything, but that's got to be hard to like forecast. What's it have for? It's got probably a couple of years shelf life, right?
It does, yeah.
But this stuff isn't sitting on your shelf. It's like you're literally making it and it's going out the door almost when it hits 30 days.
Yes.
Wow.
Obviously, in the store, people will come in and shop in the store and online, but then I also do a lot of vendor events.
Yeah. And this, so I got exposed to what you were doing through either John or you. The conversation was last April. Like, I think you were just starting, because I remember I took my
The business just started last April. Yep.
Yeah, I literally, I think I picked up a couple bars of the soap, and maybe it was a deodorant, right?
Yeah.
Last April, I took it to Ohio. I remember I took it to Columbus, Ohio. And it was shampoo. Is it shampoo?
I do shampoo also.
And it comes in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was washing my hair. I was saying how crazy it was to wash my hair with a bar. Yeah, we've got gifts here. I've got those watching is Valentine's Day box. So I pre-ordered this for my fiance. Actually, I didn't. This was a very nice gift that Kelly gave for the family. And this said Valentine's Day scents, right?
Yes.
So how do you make a scent and it's all natural?
It's all natural.
So it's all good for you. There's what's not all natural in soap? Because soap it's supposed to get you clean, right? So what's in the big box stuff that's not good for you?
Oh, all the synthetic ingredients that are in them. So all of these have all 100% natural base ingredients. The scents or essential oils, they're all plant-based.
Yeah.
Except I do have a few, because I started with all essential oil scents, but then I've had so many requests for cucumber melon or honeysuckle, things like that. Those.
Where do people get these ideas? Like, they see it someplace and they want it?
Oh, they've used it from somebody else.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of different requests. So I do have a handful of them that are not 100%, as in the scent is not an essential oil.
Mm-hmm. But it's good for you.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't.
It's all safe. It's chemical free.
No aluminum.
No parabens, like the deodorants.
Yeah.
Free of all the toxins.
Yeah. And so you get a friend, shows you how to do this. You're testing it out. John's doing his homework and research on this whole thing. You go to use the space at his shop. And the space is beautiful. I mean, how long did it take for you to decide that this isn't a hobby and I'm not going to this is a viable?
For John, it wasn't very long.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted a room, somewhere to work. And when he came in, he said, no, we're going to do this. So the whole space got a makeover. And then it became my place to work. But then he said, it's so pretty. He goes, this has to be a store.
Yeah.
So then we've evolved into that.
So it's open every day? Is it open select times?
I'm there every day. But I have store hours Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
That people can come in and shop and buy.
Yep.
So, and you're still making all of this basically yourself?
By myself, yes.
Wow. How many bars of soap do you make at a time? These are all fascinating questions to me, because I'm just sitting here trying to envision like the soap maker studio where you're, pouring, because there's companies out there that spend lots of money in marketing and showing how they slice do you slice the bars with like this whole cross cutter thing that comes down?
Well, not in the huge ones. Mine's just one singular, like a loaf pan.
Yeah.
So I'll make 8 bars out of that.
And you chop all 8 at the same time. You go down and.
Yeah. And so in one day, I could probably make 100, 150.
100, 150 bars. Wow.
If I was just going all day doing that. But, I'll change it up and make shampoo, make some deodorants, make body butters.
How many times have you gone into your inventory and been like, I'm getting low, I'm going to have to work all night to catch up? Because, again, you got to wait 30 days. And how much space do you need to have 30 days worth of resting soaps?
Well, I have 5 baker's racks.
Yeah.
And I just lined all the racks. So I have enough space
Yeah.
for it, but I do, like today, for instance, I went through the inventory and I already know I need to start making some of these for the upcoming events.
And how many, for lack of a better word, SKUs or products, different products? You said someone comes to you with wants cucumber, lemongrass, honeysuckle. How many of those different
scents?
Yeah.
50, I think.
50. You have 50 different soap scents.
Give or take a few around there. I am phasing some out. Like, I get a lot of special requests, so I'll make them and I'll make them for the people that ask.
Yeah.
But then if they're not selling and not popular, I just don't keep them in stock.
That's a hard thing, especially as a startup business. It's like with me anyway, with my Be Awesome, I'm wearing a sweatshirt actually that we designed, that we did 2 years ago. I thought was really going to be really cool because I like the white, and just because of the comfortable fabric. It's a nice looking sweatshirt, right? We sold like 10. Like we at one point we had all these different SKUs. Then it was when I first started with Be Awesome with merchandise. I had, I think, 12 different color t-shirts. And after the first 6 months, I had all this inventory of a whole bunch of colors. And when I went back and I looked at the reports and everything, I'm like, 82% of my t-shirt sales are in one color, heathered gray, like my signature shirt. And so that's the hardest part in a small business. And I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Founder with the McDonald's story.
I have.
With, was it Keaton? Michael Keaton. Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Adam does so much for me, along with managing and overseeing the production of these podcasts. He's in the background to fact check and make sure that I get this right. Michael Keaton. But in that movie and in the McDonald's story, it was the original McDonald's. They found they started with hot dogs and hamburgers and all this stuff, and they found that a huge percentage of their business was two things: burgers and fries. Right. And so they said, all right, let's drill this down to burgers, fries, sodas, shakes.
Streamline it.
And streamline it all, right? That's got to be hard for you, even knowing kind of some of the ebbs and flows, that there's probably some like seasonality to some of these. Right. Do you see that? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Like, I'll make different line for Christmas time.
Right.
And I will just make a couple batches.
Right.
And then that's it.
Right.
Or in the fall.
Yeah, Christmas stuff. People want to smell spring fresh. Right. They want to probably.
They want to have like chai. I love the chai tea one.
You have a chai tea soap.
So it's delish.
So what's probably the oddest named one that's got the nicest, like, is it that chai tea? Like, is it?
That one is incredible. I love that one. So I think I'm going to continue to make it.
Yeah.
Those are all.
Oh, I'm going to smell some of these things. I'm going to get the scents and get the
Valentine ones.
Love Spell, made with love.
That's inspired by the Victoria's Secrets scent, Love Spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Rose.
That one I have all year.
So it smells like roses.
Just like a rose.
Genius.
Yep.
All right. Blushing Bouquet.
That's one of my son's favorites.
That's a nice one. And then we have Love Letter. Love Letter. It's an interesting smell.
It's pretty.
Yeah. I was like, what's a love letter smell like? There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. I've never gotten one, but that's what it smells like.
Yep.
Now I know what a love letter smells like. Oh, and then this is.
That's the shampoo.
This is the shampoo that I used. So for those that are watching, it's like a bar of soap. And was it?
And it just lathers up, and you just.
So it had to have been weird the first time that you did this.
It was. I only made it specifically for myself.
Yeah.
I had no intentions on making it to sell.
Did you use bar soap shampoo before?
No.
Yeah, so it had to be the first time that I did it. I was like, I'm doing something wrong. Like I'm putting soap. I'm doing my bar of soap in my hair. I'm doing something wrong. But and I question whether it was going to lather up or not.
And it did.
And it did. Yes, it absolutely did. Which is amazing. And these are all natural. It's all put together, handmade, handcrafted. I mean, it's just kind of cool the way that you cut these with a little uniqueness to them. Do they last any longer or any shorter than a typical product would, or is it?
Probably about the same. Maybe a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I think you tend to probably use more.
Yeah.
You know.
That would make sense to me. If you like something, you use it more. Yeah. So you started this, I mean, you literally started this grassroots.
Yes.
How does somebody, because I think that there's such an amazing market opportunity for people to do something like this, good for you, replace big box garbage. I mean, there's so much out there. I saw someone recently that was doing all natural laundry detergent. Like,
I've seen that too.
Right. I don't know if it's legit, but I mean, we have to think that we're putting chemicals into our septic system, into our sewage at 360 million people every day. Mm-hmm. If you can find an all natural detergent that works, that would be better, I guess.
I've done a little research on that, but it's not something I'm looking to do right now.
No, but but there's people that are out there right now that on any given day I see someone starting something like, wow, that's really cool. Like, that's neat. That's something I could use, or that's something to replace. And I don't want to replace all big business, but there's so many big businesses out there, like you say, like the soap industry and the shampoo industry and everything else. Like, you shouldn't, it's kind of like I tell people with milk. When I was growing up, you were growing up, you never saw milk that said organic or farm raised cows or any of that stuff. You just assumed that it was good cows, right? Good milk, just milk. We've got to put all these labels on things, right? With shampoo, it's like non-animal tested shampoo. You tested shampoo on animals. Was it that possibly bad for us that you had to put it on animals first? Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Like, the life we live in is crazy that these large businesses can put chemicals and stuff that's not good for us. Red dye 3. Like, how many years has that been around? And we're just now getting to the fact that we
our
realize
whole lives.
It causes cancer and we shouldn't have it in our system. And it's now been banned. So I think that there's so many of these great opportunities for people to say, I'm going to work in my basement, or I'm going to work in my friend's office, or my significant other's office, or whatever, and try to build something. How did you start selling this? Like, it was Easton Concrete, and it's turned into, you've got a concrete cutting company, construction company upstairs. That's what people are used to seeing, and it's been there for
50 years.
50 years. Yeah. And a handmade, I'll call it boutique product line downstairs. Yeah. So it's
not the most ideal
you're
location.
You're not in a hotbed of activity for other complementary businesses that somebody's stopping by and saying, hey, I should stop over here while I'm at it. So it's not the traffic. It's a beautiful store. How did you get people to see what you're doing and to buy, and where did you go and what did you do?
Well, a lot of it's word of mouth. Mm-hmm. People that I've come across, or it's at the vendor events. Mm-hmm. People I meet at vendor events.
Like farmers markets?
Yes.
Okay.
So then they'll come. And a lot of friends and just people that they know, and word of mouth. I've advertised a little bit with Suburban Shopper, mm-hmm. and in the Valpak.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just word of mouth.
Wow. How comfortable are farmers markets? It's one of those things. I feel like I have to buy everything when I go in there. Like, I go in and I just want to get everything, and it's like all different. Like, I don't know if you've done the Easton ones but there's just like you've got this consolidated amount of just a couple of hours on a Saturday that you can buy these goods. And so you go in and I try to grab it all, and it's like chaos. And I'm only there for like 6 minutes. Yeah. Like, I go in there with a plan.
Hit every store.
Is that what it's like when you're there all day?
Well, I mean, I'm not out shopping. Like, unfortunately, I never have time to run around and shop.
But as far as when you're selling, like, is it just a constant flow of people, and they're just picking stuff up and saying, I'll take this and scan it in and take it all out? Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. And how many bars of soap can you sell in a farmer's market day? A couple hundred?
It's some. Like, I did the Plymouth Waterfront Festival this past summer, and there was thousands and thousands of people that attend that. So that one, I probably 200-300.
Yeah.
And then all the other products. Yeah. It was a very busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I enlist my kids to help me.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's free labor. That's what I try to do
kids, too. Couple of my friends, they come and they help.
Yeah.
So we make a day of it.
Very cool. Now, a year ago, when you did your first vendor fair or whatever you did, your first your first dollar earned. Did you think when you did that you would be 5 racks filled with bars and selling hundreds of bars and doing all this stuff? Like, did you go into this as far as being like, I'm going to be the soap queen of
No.
Easton, Massachusetts?
No.
No.
No, because I just did it because I loved it.
Yeah.
And my first event, I remember saying to John, what if I don't sell any soap?
Yeah.
And he goes, you're going to do fine. And
Yeah.
when I came home and he saw the smile on my face, and I was pretty much sold out of what I brought.
Yeah.
So it was a great day.
Yeah, it's funny. I literally was driving over here and I was talking to my accountant, my CPA, Mike Holland, and he's in my book, and like Mike, everybody needs a John in their life, and it's his constant optimism. I can't, and I think that's something that's really powerful for us, because I was in the same situation. Like what you're saying is triggering all the stuff that I've been feeling. Like I've had wild anxiety for the last 2 months. I've hidden it. Adam, you haven't noticed it, have you? I've just been a little bit more all over the place than I normally am, which is hard to believe that's even possible. But this book has just been, something that I've loved and I've wanted to do, and now it's here, and I'm like, all right, well, now it's all put together.
Now what? Yeah.
What if nobody buys it? And that's why I pushed Mark for so long, almost a month. I'm like, hey, we got to do a pre-order page. I don't know how that works, but we've got to be able to pre-order it. My whole thing was, if nobody buys the pre-order, I can just pull the cord. We don't need to worry about going down the path of all the other stuff. And there were people in my life like Mike Holland that I told Mike back in 2019 or 2018 when I started going to him. He's like, what's your plan? What do you want to do? And I was like, if. And he goes, win. Like, it's not if, it's when. And it's just having that positive reinforcement and encouragement to help us get past the hurdles of uncertainty that we put in our own heads, right? Or the fact that you're doing something because you like it. And that's one of the things that I always find is fascinating with people that find like this is going to be wildly successful. It already is, like from a perspective of where you're at, where probably most companies like you're at. But you're going to be incredibly successful, and it's not because you went into it like, I'm going to make $1 million selling soap. You went into it with, I just really like making this soap, and I really like the product. And by the way, I use the product, right? That's really, really cool. Like that
doesn't sell, I can bring it home.
Yeah. I can put it for Christmas presents. Yeah, I can do any number of things. Do you get people that, like, I just sit here and I'm looking at this and you can't see it, but this is, Kelly was kind enough to bring little packages of, what did they get? Did they get the same thing I got?
No.
Oh, okay, good. I got something different. Body butter. What's body butter?
Oh, you need it. There's one in your box too.
Oh, what do you do with body butter?
I use it.
This is a little bit. This is like PG-13. So let's just put that out there. Yeah.
I use it when I get out of the shower and just do head to toe. And
what's in it?
Oh, coconut oil and shea butter and all the good stuff.
Body butter. Rub it all over.
Jojoba oil.
Okay.
Yeah, rub it all over.
Yeah.
No more dry skin.
Yeah.
I promise you.
So
it smells amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna report back how my body butter experience has been.
Yeah. That was one of John's thoughts. Making that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to try out. Did I talked about my soap experience in one of the episodes, Adam? I think. Yeah,
the shampoo.
Yeah, the shampoo. I did talk about that a while back. Do you have people like I never want to tell people how to do their business, but I look at their business and the things that they're doing, and I have a little bit of a marketing. I have a big sales side marketing mind, but I could see like weddings, like people getting married, wanting personalized soap, shampoo, deodorant packages like this to give to the wedding party at the hotel that they're staying at. Have you started getting that at all?
I haven't done it, but I certainly could.
That's like, that just to me that'd be like a no-brainer. Like everybody, like I do events all over the country, and a lot of them are on Thursdays and Fridays that I'm checking in, and you see all these gift bags, and it must be a wedding coming, because these people, they're preparing them, they spend good money on it. I'm sitting here going, you get these people coming to a hotel with these little cheap bars of soap, put this
we
thing,
could have this.
put that together, really
Yeah.
sharp and jazz it up. It's a jackpot waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Now we just need to get soap travel cases.
We'll have to-
I
have
got
to work on that.
I got one. When I went to Ohio, I got it. I didn't even know they sold them, but you can buy
Little
plastic
ones.
travel bar of soap cases. Because now I rent Airbnbs a lot too.
So you just take
Yeah.
it on the go.
Where you got to bring your own soap. Yeah, it's like that's the worst thing in the world when you're used to staying in hotels and you renting Airbnbs regularly, and you get there and like, oh man, there's no soap. I forgot, because you get used to creature comforts.
And that's where the shampoo comes in handy.
Yes,
And you can take it on the airplane.
there you go. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no 3 ounces there.
So it's not liquid.
No,
Right.
no.
Not a lip balm.
And you make lip balm. No kidding. Is it kind of the same? Sweet almond oil, beeswax, and essential oil, coconut oil. No kidding.
I don't remember what scent that is.
I'm gonna find out in a second. It's delicious. Peppermint.
That's my favorite.
So what is it? So manufacturing minds want to know. How do you
hand pour those?
So you take
It's a hot liquid when it goes in.
So this is a hot liquid. You drill this all the way down, or it's already
It
drilled all
comes
the way down.
Yeah.
You pour the liquid in, top it off, and you let it sit for Does that sit for 30 days too?
No, just the soap and the shampoo.
Oh, okay. And that's how you make,
Lip balm.
also known as chapstick, because of the popularity of the name of that. But lip balm, it's kind of like chapstick.
Right.
That is far out. Body butter is the same. Is this? It's a hot liquid that gets put in here, or is it something?
No, that one is as it is.
That smells
No, no.
fantastic.
Which scent is it?
Cucumber melon. See, whoever gave you the suggestion for cucumber melon did a great job. And how long does a jar of this last?
That would only last a couple weeks. That's a mini one.
Okay.
But I do have full size ones.
Okay.
That'd probably last a month if you use it every day.
Wow. So let's talk about price. Like, how do you price point what you're doing? Like, how much would a bar of Love Letter soap cost?
$9.
Okay. That seems like a deal. I don't know how much bars of soap go for,
Yeah.
but this is the thing that I always am fascinated with. And I get that I'm the worst culprit of a lot of this, but it's not because I pay attention to money. It's typically out of convenience. Like, I'll eat fast food because I'm in a hurry. I know I'm not supposed to do it. I know it's not good for me. I know it's filled with preservatives, but I got to get something. And I think it's better than nothing. This is the thing that is interesting to me with regard to health, beauty, care, soap, is, someone will pay $8 for a bar of soap that's got all sorts of stuff that we don't know what it's going to do to us, or we do know what it's going to do to us, but supposedly nothing. Or you pay a little bit more, because this is a little bit more than a standard bar of soap. You pay a little bit more, you get something that's 100% natural, meaning it's not bad for you, meaning it comes from the land and it's grown,
Plant-based.
Yeah, plant-based, curated well, sustainable. You're gonna be able to, continue to grow that. I mean,
It's hydrating, moisturizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just seems like a no-brainer to me. Now, do you have? I got loofah in here too. You just loaded me up with everything. A little loofah pad. Didn't think I would know what that is, did you?
And there's an exfoliating bag in there.
Oh, time out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then if you want to put your soap in there, you won't lose any of it.
this is something you don't make this.
No.
I was gonna say I'd be fascinated to see how they make this thing. So you stick the bar of soap in here and you use. That's pretty.
Get a little exfoliation.
What will they think of next?
Some of the soaps have cornmeal in them. I think you had the lemon scrub one.
Yeah.
And that's where it all began, really, because John loved this lemon scrub soap that my son Sean would get him.
Yeah.
And I would go to the country store and rent them
Yeah.
and pick it up. And Sean loved giving the soaps.
Yeah.
John's favorite. So I'd have to trek over there every
And is
so
that
often.
cornmeal in it?
It has cornmeal. So he said to me one day, I need to figure out what's in that soap. So I said, next time, save the label.
Yeah.
So he looked at it and it was cornmeal. So that was my first soap I made, was the lemon scrub for him.
Cornmeal seems like the last thing, or one of the last things on earth I would think you would put in soap. And it's not, and cornmeal is not bad for you.
No, and it gives a, I don't want to say aggressive, but it's a good exfoliation.
Aggressive. Hey, you want an aggressive exfoliation? Get something with cornmeal in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to, the first time I made it, it was probably a little too much. So we had to scale it back.
Yeah. So they sell a soap, they sell some soaps and rent them similar, kind of. Are you in other stores? Or are you just in your store and doing the farmer's market? Are you planning on expanding to go to do stores? Or if there's a store that's listening that specializes in...
Well, I do have my products in Paul Joseph's salon.
Okay.
Here in Easton.
Around 138.
Yes.
Yep.
And at Hammer and Steen.
That's on 138 too, next to Papagino's, where I'll be going later this evening for my Friday night pizza.
And then I'm possibly going to have my products in Simpson Spring.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The Bertarellis there. Now do they have a farmer's market there still, or did they?
I don't know.
They did. They
used to.
Yeah. They moved the farmer's market that was on Depot
Five
Street,
Corners.
and they went to someplace else and someplace else. And I thought they had like a little area down there. That is a cool spot.
Yeah.
That is the oldest spring water source in the country. A lot of people didn't know that.
Right. I got a tour of it one of the times I was there, and it's very fascinating.
It's cool. As a former spring water distributor, I owned a competitor's. I owned the distribution rights for what would be one of their competitors, and that spring was out in Western Massachusetts. And I would go over to the family is always great. We went over there and we would buy coolers every once in a while when we'd run out. And I did the tour, and they get the hole in the ground. And you're just like, wow, that's a hole in the ground. It's like, well, that's where the water comes up. And no, it's pretty cool. And then just the old building and set back in the woods. It's,
I like it in there.
It's very peaceful. It's a cool place. So that'd be cool to be in Simpson Spring. Is that the plan? Is the plan to land and expand in other stores and locations and retail, or you're not on Amazon?
No.
Yeah.
No, I just have my own online store.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it if you can, like, especially if you want to, and I don't know enough about retail, but that's like, everybody talks about you should get your merchandise on Amazon, or you should get it on Etsy or any of these other places. And I was like, I lose control, and then every person that touches it, you lose profit. And I'm not saying I'm, profit hungry with everything, but I'd rather have people come directly to me. And you control the quality.
Right.
Right. That's the big one. You control the quality of the product. And I would think that if you put, a whole bunch of these bars of soap someplace, you run a whole lot of risk of, them breaking or someone pouring water on them or doing something. That's got to be a tough sell. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Be Awesome podcast. If you are enjoying our episodes, please give us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. Those ratings and reviews do make a difference in helping us get more exposure, more listeners, as well as giving people an insight and understanding as to what they could expect when they listen to our episodes. Thanks again, and you are awesome. So what's the next? Do you have a flavor coming out for March, or when spring hits? You got anything new that you're testing? And do you test? You have to test these things out, right? You got to.
They go out for research and development.
Yeah, extensive research and development. Yeah. Got it. You have a panel of judges.
Yeah, I always make one batch of any new scent and then give those away.
Yeah.
Wait for feedback and then continue on if everyone likes it.
So what are some thought? Yeah, any
a new one, I think it will be in Tuesday, is the Lang Lang. I've had a lot of people ask me for that.
What is it?
Lang Lang.
Lang Lang.
I'm not even sure what it's going to smell like, but I've just had a lot of people ask me for that, so I just went ahead and ordered it, and we'll see.
So
next week I'll be on that.
So there's a place you order. The scent is made with essential oils. So there's a place that has. You just call and say, "Hey, I want Lang Lang essential oil," and they have it in stock.
I do a lot of my essential oils and the base ingredients like the coconut oil and the olive oil. I get at Jedwards International,
Yeah.
which is right here in Braintree.
Oh, wow.
So it's not too far.
Wow.
I mean, I have it delivered. Sometimes I'll pick it up if I need it quick.
Yeah. And that's all they do is make.
That's all. They just make all natural products and
Wow.
oils and butters.
How big of a container do you have to buy? Like do you have these big? I'm trying to envision all this. Do you have like big 55-gallon
No.
drums of?
I probably could of olive oil because
Yeah.
I go through a lot of olive oil.
Yeah.
But a 5-gallon.
Yeah. So you'll get a 5-gallon of
Olive
Lang
oil.
Lang, but the Lang Lang oil.
Oh, that will. No, I only ordered 16 ounces of that.
Oh,
It's
so,
expensive too. That's
So
like
it goes-
$300 for 16 ounces.
wow. So we're mad about $3 for a gallon of gas, and you're paying $300 for 16 ounces.
Yeah.
But you probably only have to use a little amount to go a long way with it, right?
Yeah, depends on what I'm making. In soap, it would be, well, it depends on how big of a batch, but roughly 50 grams.
Yeah.
That's all measured. Everything's measured and weighed to the gram.
Yeah. So I made the comment about laundry detergent. You're like, oh, I'm looking into it, but I'm probably not going to do that. How many ideas do you get in a given month of like, and we talked about this beforehand. You have an absolutely gorgeous property. Your backyard is like, it's like magical, right? And I said the COVID, and apparently I wasn't paying attention the years prior to COVID in the work that you guys had put into it, but it's, you've got fruit bearing trees, you've got raised garden beds, you've got a greenhouse. And I've talked to you guys on more than one occasion about, the type of seeds that you get that are the purest of vegetable and fruit seeds that you're using with no contaminants or GMO or Monsanto or any of that stuff.
We get
right?
all of our seeds from Territorial Seed.
Yeah. So you guys are way into good for you stuff,
yeah.
Right? And making you and the world a better place because you're making this for the masses and not just for yourself. But what other, like on any given month, I can just imagine you and John sitting in the kitchen talking, and you're like, yeah, maybe we should do laundry detergent, or maybe we could do this. Like it's solving a problem, right? You're solving a problem that's there, which is, your mission is removing the bad stuff from what's supposed to make you feel good, right? And so, what are some ideas, or how, like on any given month, you just kind of put a thought, and you're like, I think we could do this better. Like, is it makeup? Is it I don't know, but like, how often do you come up with like a new replacement of putting something good from something that's supposed to make you feel good?
I'll always try to make something if someone asks.
Mhm.
My son asked for a face cream.
Yeah.
So I made him a couple different variations of it, and there was one he liked.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll make it to sell, but I'll make it.
Yeah.
I recently made a hair serum that, not sure if it will help, but it's supposed to help with hair growth.
I'll take it.
Not sure. So I did make that last week.
Yeah. Sign me up.
That's why I made the shampoo, because John, in all of his research, found that the shampoos we buy in the store have chemicals in them that promote hair loss.
Mm-hmm.
And not sure if it's just aging or whatnot, but my hair, seemed to be thinning. It's always been thin, but seemed to really be thinning.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to try making shampoo.
Yeah.
So I did, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
It just made it was like every strand was nourished, and
Yeah.
I just felt like my hair behaved better, it looked better,
Yeah.
healthier.
Yeah. I'll take
So-
I'll take hair serum.
so-
It's happening,
All right.
and I'm hiding it. I'm pretty close to like thinking about how to do a comb over, but it's going back over here. It's going back over here. But I almost lost. I got alopecia. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that when I was 22, and it was literally just my hair was falling out in patches. I looked ridiculous. And there was a Dr. Campbell in Stoughton. I think it was Dr. Campbell. He's probably retired now. This was back in the mid 90s, and he injected something that helped my hair grow back, but it never grew back. I had thick hair, and it didn't ever come back. So I'm always looking at natural suggestions, not surgical and stuff like that, because I don't like surgery and pain. But that'd be a pretty good idea. And so you just do research and just look for what chemical compositions.
Yeah. Or what oils or what essential oils to put in. So it's like rosemary and lavender.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
essential oils have become popular in like a million different ways, right? Because you see
with the aromatherapy.
Yeah. So I don't. There's celebrities that are promoting their own essential oil diffusers, like
for just the scents, and it just makes you feel good. Like when I go to work, I walk in.
Yeah.
I call it my Zen space.
Yeah, you don't need a diffuser, right?
No.
You've got it. Got it all over. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little overpowering.
Yeah. No. When you walk in, you can smell that you're in the soap factory, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I went into a retail store recently, and I needed to get some toiletries, and I walked past the soap, and a lot of these soaps are wrapped in heavy plastic. Like they're wrapped tighter than people trying to smuggle drugs across the border to keep the sniff dogs out, and it still overpowers and comes through, and you can smell that. It's almost a harsh scent, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, yours smells nice. Like it's a very comfortable, relaxed scent. So I should look into an essential oil diffuser, though. Yeah. I've got no experience in it. I just saw some. I can't remember what celebrity it was. What's that?
I don't have one.
You don't need one.
I don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need one. So what's next? What's next on your kind of list of what you want to see happen here? Like, what do you think is it just continue on doing this?
I mean, I've made some changes, like if you can see the difference in size of the soaps.
Yeah.
So I've gone to a larger cut bar.
Okay.
So that's a 5-ounce bar opposed to these ones are 4.
Okay.
So I've made a few changes, streamlining the scents.
Yeah.
And really just gearing up to do a lot of markets in the spring.
Yeah.
And I'll do the one in the summertime, hopefully, in Plymouth, and in the fall. I don't really do a lot of them in the summertime. One, because I travel and see my daughter and my grandkids, but and like the body butters and the lip balms, they don't like the heat.
I was gonna say, do they melt?
Yeah. So it's a tricky thing to try to do.
So they got to stay at room temperature below 100 degrees.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is like, and you got the level of trial and error you must have. It's got to be interesting, not just as to what people like and don't like, but I mean, it's chemistry.
Right. Sometimes I go to work and it's just to play and just try new things or try different things.
Yeah. But it's not something you can just, so like when I cook, I don't use measuring cups or anything. I just go with my.
No, it's all measured to the gram.
Yeah. I was going to say that's I did a podcast for another channel that I have that's on facility management. And I had a chemical expert, cleaning chemicals. We were talking about the diluted, the chemicals that you dilute in water. It's like 1 ounce of cleaner to 1 gallon of water, and he was like, if you 1's good but 2's great is the model that people think, and it's like, no, if you put too much in, you get a bad output, and that's got to be with you. Is like if you put even a couple drops too much of a scent, that's when it gets to be that overpowering and obnoxiousness opposed to that comforting and relaxing scent.
Yeah, if I'm in the middle of measuring and someone talks to me, I'm like, I've lost count, I've lost thought. I'm like, you can't talk to me while I'm doing this. Or John will say, you need to hire somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then I won't know if they did it right.
They do the count right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the quality control aspect has got to be.
And then he says, well, what about because after they're done curing, I'll bevel them all.
Yeah. And
bevel the edges. And he's like, well, somebody could do that. And I said, well, that's when I can really inspect every piece. So it's a time for me to really, check over every one. And if something doesn't look right, I just pull it out.
So wait a second. So this comes out as a this isn't like a
The
part of
tops
the-
are done. I make the tops when they're in the loaf. I'll
Yeah.
do the tops, but all the edges.
But is this originally flat and you make
No.
it look like this?
Before it hardens.
So this is technically the top of the loaf.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then I bevel all the
Do you see?
sides.
Do you
and the
see how
edges.
idiot proof this isn't? I'm
Yeah.
sitting here going, she cut it in a perfect cube and then chiseled out all of
No.
this. No, you just pour this into the pan for people that are looking. So all the sides are completely flat
Flat.
and smooth, except for the top has got ridge and
Design. You could do
design and
whatever.
certain
Yeah.
things. So you pour the pan and you make it so that it looks like this.
Yeah.
And then you cut it. Got it.
And then after the 30 days, I'll take each piece
Mhm.
and bevel all the sides and edges.
So how long does it take?
That actually takes longer to do that than actually
Everything else.
making the soap.
Yeah, because you're hand beveling every bar.
Right.
So how long does it take to bevel one bar?
Oh, it doesn't take that long, but it's just
Like a minute or two?
yeah. And then just clean them up and then make the labels and wrap
Wow.
them.
That is pretty cool. And
But it is a good opportunity to really inspect each piece too.
yeah, so there you go. So every single bar of soap that has been sold has been inspected by you.
Right. And made and
That's crazy. That's a lot.
hundreds and hundreds, thousands actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's amazing. Like that level of ability to have that level of detail and quality control that you can say every bar approved. Like you need to get like a
There's a
sticker.
stamp.
Yeah, you need to get like a little sticker like that they put on like socks and underwear. It's like QC 12. You know,
Inspected.
yeah, inspected and approved by. But that's important, right? I think that's, I think that the biggest thing that people fail to see with business is the importance of quality and of customer service and of care and of listening. One of the things that I've always learned and lived by is to see what Mary Jane buys. You look through Mary Jane's eyes, and so you have to see, what is it that they like, how do they like it, how much are they going to buy into it, and then, how many. It was interesting. I had how many of my business conversations today relate to this discussion about soap. I had one of my sales team members on my software company that I'm a part of called, and he's like, "Hey, I heard a couple of these people say that this would be a really cool feature to have." And I said, "Absolutely be a cool feature to have. Will they buy it?" And he just kind of said, "What? Well, will they buy it?" It's nice we can say all the things that we'd like, but there's a whole different thing to see what people will actually pay for and support. And I gave my the Comic-Con debacle of 2022. I went to Comic-Con in 2021 with my son, his cousin, and my son's friend. And I wore a Be Awesome t-shirt and I had my Be Awesome backpack. I was giving out stickers and everybody's like, "Hey man, love your shirt, love the message, love this, love that." I was like, "Oh, this is great." And Comic-Con's expensive. Rhode Island is the biggest Comic-Con or most celebrity Comic-Con in the world. Over 100,000 people in 2 days go there. So I'm like, the next year, and it's almost $1,000 for the full boat VIP pass for 4 people for all the stuff. It was a lot of money, well worth it, but a lot of money. And so the next year, I'm like, the booth's only $1,500. Like I should get like some chairs or a couch or something, and can just set up a camp. I could sell T-shirts. And so then my brain goes off. I'm like, how many T-shirts do I have to sell to offset my cost? And it was, it was like 100 T-shirts just to cover my. I'm like, I could do that. 100,000 people, 100 T-shirts. Everybody loved my stuff. Last year they were amazed by it. I bet everybody buy it. So I had 1,200 or 1,500 shirts made. Sold 38.
Oh.
Big miss. Huge miss. In the month before Christmas.
Really?
So, it was
That's surprising.
It was a disaster. And so, the thing that I didn't ask when those people said they loved the shirts was, would you be willing to pay $25 for one? Right? The market research it was a huge fail for me. And so I didn't do a lot of the stuff that you're doing, which is testing, listening, and watching what their buying patterns and what they're doing. And you can tell just by the way they smell when they come in or how often they come in, right? If someone's coming in every 7 or 10 days, like this is such an easy, and I say this because it's not mine, but this should be a relatively easy purchase pattern to track repeat business, likelihood of repeat business, and if they're going someplace else, right? Yeah. Like if I got this and 30 days later I come in and I get more soap, and then 30 days, I'm on a 30-day track record of how long it takes me to use this soap. If I don't see in 45 days or 60 days, I can call and say, did I do something wrong? Are you happy?
Right. Like I have one woman I'd have to look back on the records, but she'll get 3 Birch shampoos. Yeah. And then 2-3 months, however long it is, be the same order. And she's just very consistent with that.
Yeah. I think that's the coolest thing with small business, that for me, and thinking about it. And I've been part of growing small businesses into big businesses that bought out by Fortune 100 companies. And the biggest thing is that remembering of a client, right? Through their client life with you, you're like, Kelly hasn't been in 2 weeks. And I'm so used to seeing her every 2 weeks. Like that, that's small business, right? That's small business where the customer knows where their money is going, and the business knows how important that customer is to earn their business. That's where the nice feeling. That's why I love small business. I love, in our town, we've got so many good ones. We've got, as far as the people that I do business with, Morse Insurance and Bourne's for my cars and Your Soap, and there's a lot of.
We go to all the same places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's good reason for it, right? They do good work. Bob Mance, my life insurance guy, comes to my office in Target, Starbucks, and sits down and talks to me. Personal Best Karate with the Georges, which is next to Hammer and Stain on the other side. So
my boys went there when the Rap Holds.
Yes, yeah. My sons both went. My oldest went when he was young, and to the Norton one, and my youngest just finished the Ranger program there. So, but you look at Hammer and Stain. I mean, that's a business flourishing. That when they came in, I would sit there and I'd be like, who's gonna go and do a making class or whatever? The place is packed every day. They're packed. I mean, what a great idea that turned into.
She does a great job there.
Well, they do a great job because they're customer centric and focused. Like they know the importance of each and every customer client, as I like to call them, instead of customers that they have, right? They know. And
you get ideas like from what would you like to make?
Yeah.
And they pick each other's brains.
Yeah. Well, they could make a soap board at Hammer and Stain. Or something along those, like some sort of soap. I don't know if there's a wood soap holder. Is there? Probably is. You can.
Well, John is hoping to open up a wood shop.
Yeah.
And he said he's going to make me personalized soap dishes.
So he's going to open up a wood shop to sell wood? Things made with wood?
Yes. Things made with wood.
Yes,
things. But one of the things he said, he makes soap dishes for me that he can personalize.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can seal them and you can do all this stuff and get away from plastic too. That's a pretty good idea. Yep. I'm glad I thought of it. Let John know that I thought that the soap dish is a great idea that I created. Was he going to put it there too? Is he going to be? You guys going to be on the same?
It's going to be next door to me.
Oh wow. Okay. So Easton Concrete upstairs, wood shop next door, and soap shop. That is the combo of combos. I love it. I love it. I got to figure out how to do business in all three in the same day. I got to get some concrete cut, get some wood products made, and they cause me such a sweat to do the first two that I got to get some soap.
So on your way out.
That's amazing. Right. So this has been great. Congratulations. I am so excited for you. I was, last April when I had heard about this and I went over and I got my stuff. I was just so excited to see something else being done in town, something creative, something very entrepreneurial that, I'm not gonna say anyone could do, but with hard work, with research and with everything else, you're putting something together that's really, it's a winner, right? It's something
and
great.
I love to do it.
And that's the thing, that you love what you do, and that's what you got to I tell people is find what you love to do and do it. And it might not, figure out the money differences, figure out all the other stuff, lean on people to help, but find that thing, and you found it. And congratulations, and thank you for the gifts.
You're very welcome.
This is amazing. So how do people get a hold of you? How do people buy online? Are you on social media? We'll put it all in the show notes. But
Kelly Marie's Essentials.
Yep.
.com is my website.
Okay.
And I'm at 125 Eastman Street in Easton.
Okay.
You can find me there Tuesdays 10 to 2, Wednesdays 12 to 4, and Thursdays 4 to 7.
Okay. I'll get those times from you so we make sure that we have all that stuff on. And do you put anything on social media? Are you on Instagram, Facebook? Okay. Just look for Kelly Marie Essentials.
Correct.
Awesome. And is there a suggestion box someplace that people can leave their sent suggestions to you?
You could just call, email, or just let me know.
That is awesome. And I would tell people, if you're getting married, know someone that's getting married, or having a gathering with lots of people that are going to stay in a hotel, and when she's wildly successful with it, I can say that I helped with the idea.
Exactly.
I think this is a phenomenal gift for groups that are going to stay in hotels. I just look at it and it just screams.
Well, it is a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, no, I know. And no royalties. Don't worry. I'm not going to ask for any royalties. Just maybe body butter when I'm hooked on it and I'm doing it.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
4 times a day.
He's
So
gonna love it.
yeah. Well, listen, you did great for your first episode. We're going to have you back again down the road and get updates. I always love to have people come in and see, where they're at and what's going on and how they're doing, and if you get some really good new scents coming out or whatever. But that'll be down the road, and I'm going to make sure to stay up with all the great things that you're doing.
Well, thank you.
So,
and I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate this. This has been great. This is a magical time for Be Awesome. This is something that is a culmination of 7 years of work, effort. We're in the top 3% of all podcasts in the world, and that wouldn't have happened without people actually listening to the first episode, which is terrible, or the second episode, which is equally as bad. The third episode with Santa Claus was what triggered so much of this business and the direction in which we went and the velocity in which we did things, launching merchandise and doing the keynotes and trying to get the book together and everything else. And here we are. And by the way, Santa Claus is our forward. He wrote that. So I am the only person in history to have the only person legally named Santa Claus in North Pole, Alaska, do the forward for a book. So I am really excited. We've got some amazing endorsements. Coming from some folks. We're just waiting to get them before I announce them. But we have some people that got an advance copy of the book, and they have some of the kindest things to say. So you can pre-order the book. It's on beawesome.com. Follow us on social media. Sorry to bug you. I'm not a social media master of any sort. I don't like social media as a rule, but our goal is to put as many copies of the book in people's hands as possible without spending money on advertising. And you've just given me so much hope by telling me how successful you've been with your business by word of mouth. So thank you for that. Find us on social media. Would love your 5-star rating and reviews to continue to grow and expand and get us at 2.5% of all podcasts. Thank you to the Easton community and ECAT for all you do. This has been a wonderful journey and couldn't do it without you the last year and a half or so. And in the meantime, if you can be anything, be awesome.
Coming to you from underneath a peach blossom. It's time for an episode of Be Awesome. Find positivity throughout your life and work. Just like our mascot rooster, Steve the Jerk.